And good morning, everybody. It is time for the McEleney Minute here on AM 1390 KCLN and 1390KCLN.com. And also invite you to check the backlogs of the shows. If you'd like to know what we've talked about in the previous weeks, you can go to 1390KCLN.com, click on podcast, and then listen to your heart's extent as you listen to the old shows there. Or if you'd like to watch a video of Drew and I, you can go to the video podcast, which is on the left side menu on your website, and click on that and watch any of our shows. Try and cut them up into 5-minute segments so you don't have to watch too long, and we break up the subject matter and try to make it as interesting as we can. You can, again, check that out at 1390KCLN.com, and it's time for another edition of the McEleney Minute. I am joined this week by Drew McEleney. Welcome back, Drew.
Good to be back.
Nice to have you back. Oh, you really put me through the ringer last week.
That's right. We had a little bit of a curveball thrown your way. Fortunately, Jen Clydesdale, to use the baseball analogy, pinch hit quite well, and I was interested to hear about some of her comments last week.
Did you say fortunately I got to talk with Jen?
Yeah,
you
absolutely. I did. I don't know. I wasn't around, so I didn't see how the interview went.
Well, check it out, 1390KCLN.com. Then we'll see if you say fortunate.
Fair enough.
Now, we appreciate Jen filling in on last-second notice, and hopefully you're feeling better. Glad
to
have you back.
I am. Thank you. Good to be back.
And we were a little worried about you last week, so now we're feeling all better.
Good.
Talking about McEleney's, and I tell you what, beautiful outside, beautiful out front. The facade is getting finished more and more every day, and it's really starting to come together. It looks like the photo now or the painting, the artist rendering you guys have in the lobby is starting to look better.
Exactly. The conceptual drawings that we saw, or the computer renderings, as you put it, it's getting a lot closer to reality now. We've put up some of they call it ACM. It's aluminum cladding material is the fancy term, but it gives it that really kind of finished modern look. And I didn't know exactly how it was going to look in the flesh, so to speak. And once it got up there, I'm even more more happy with the result than I thought I would be. So.
Yeah, it's starting to look really good. The only negative is it's getting harder and harder to get back here to ABRA.
It is, and the best way to find us is if you come across through the stoplight off Highway 30. You come across from Target in our main entrance. You just kind of jog to the right around our service drive, and there's a one-way there. You kind of keep coming back, and you just turn to the right. So we're in the back right side of the property if you're coming off of Highway 30.
Yeah, and of course the construction gets closer and closer to finish, and then it's going to be all kinds of easier and more beautiful here. But the ABRA Collision Center, I got to say, I saw new billboards up around town. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, we're very excited. We haven't been in the outdoor advertising, which is to say billboard advertising, in quite some time, with really either the dealership or the collision center, and we have now gotten back into that space with ABRA. And again, with Jen's help here, Jen Clydesdale, our marketing director's help, we've really gotten a good message out there that our reputation is no accident, and that we've been in business here in Clinton since 1914. So if you happen to drive south on 2nd Street here in Clinton, from the North Bridge south, it's on that west side of the street, or the right side of the street. You'll see one of our billboards there, and then also on Highway 30, as you come in towards Clinton from Fulton, you'll see it right on the highway there.
Yeah, easy to spot. Big, beautiful McEleney ABRA Collision Center sign, and that's exciting news. Getting the name out there, getting customers familiar with the fact that ABRA is McEleney's, McEleney's is ABRA. Everything's still the same, and it's just a little bit better, as we've talked about in previous shows. And let's talk about this. I got a little flyer as we were getting together this morning about ABRA Express, and you were kind of going through it with me, but let's go through it for our listening audience as well. This is kind of a time saver for people if they do have accidents.
No question. And ABRA Express is something that we've been offering here for a couple months now, but I think we're educating folks as we go a little bit. Chris, I'll just kind of give you a real overview of sort of what happens when somebody gets an accident. A lot of your listeners, I think, are going to be familiar with this, but when someone comes in and gets an accident, usually one of the first things they want to do is drive to a collision center, come to us and say, I need an estimate, or I need a second estimate, or even a third estimate. And what happens then is the customer comes in, and we, of course, take down all their information in a traditional way. The way we've kind of done it for many years has been to go out and write the visible damage. Of course, we can't write any damage that is underneath, maybe behind a bumper or underneath the fender or part of the structural damage of the car. That's typically something we can't write in an estimate while you wait, and that's true of any other collision center, in the area or in the country. So what ABRA Express does is instead of writing that initial estimate, that estimate that needs to be almost rewritten or supplemented, later on to find that hidden damage, what we do is we say, Mr. or Miss Customer, when they walk in or they call on the phone, we say that most of our customers that come in have the ability to use the ABRA Express program. So instead of coming in and waiting maybe 20 or 30 minutes for us to write an estimate and gather all the pictures and give you what's going to tell most of the story of the damage, but won't tell any of the hidden damage of the vehicle, what we can do is either schedule you for a time when you want us to just repair your vehicle, when you want to just drop the keys with us. And we have so many good partnerships with the various insurance companies, the larger insurance companies, that there's a very good chance that you'll be able to participate in that program. And you won't need a second or a third estimate. You won't even really need a first estimate, because that first estimate becomes our repair plan. So we get the vehicle in, we disassemble it, we write one good repair plan, and then we order parts once. And what that does is speed up the whole process of the repair as well.
Yeah, on your flyer, it removes initial estimating step, which could be an hour-long visit if someone's going to sit here and wait for you guys to go through a car.
Sure.
Instead, it becomes here are my keys, take care of it. You guys will shuttle them to where they need to go.
Absolutely. And
their car's done in no time.
Yeah, and we have a very comfortable lounge here, and we've got good coffee, but most folks don't want to spend 45 minutes, an hour in some cases. Normally we are quicker than that to write an estimate, but a lot of times people have better things to do with their time than to kind of sit here and chat and wait while that process gets done. So we can really streamline that. Of course, if someone would still want an estimate or require it for a different reason, perhaps it was, you had a fender bender in your driveway and your neighbor's just going to pay out of pocket or something to that effect, we're more than happy to write an estimate for you while you wait, and of course there's never any charge for that.
Now, do a lot of insurance companies request 2 and 3 estimates anymore? I know that used to be a big thing. You had to have a minimum of 2. Do they do that kind of stuff anymore?
It did used to be a much bigger thing where you would see 2 and 3 estimates, but the insurance companies, I think, have kind of realized that they've gotten an alignment with a lot of shops. Unfortunately, most of the major insurance companies are partnered with us, and any of those partner companies allow us to go ahead and start repairing the vehicle without a second or third estimate, because I think the insurance companies have realized they've picked the best shops that work the best for them, have the highest satisfaction for the customer, and again, we have a lot of those good relationships. So because we're working with them, then you don't really need that second or third estimate anymore. So there are some rare occasions, there's some exceptions to that, but it's a lot of people that come in and think, well, I need to go to ABC Collision Center after you guys. Right. That's not necessarily needed anymore. So.
Yeah, that's my thoughts. I always thought you had to have minimum 2 or 3, and
sure.
To get things started. So that's a great plan. Not only to not have to get 2 or 3, but to be able to save that time and get things just taken care of. Stop once, and then you're done thinking about it. Just get it fixed and get on your way.
Yep, absolutely.
Good way to go about it. So that's the ABRA Express program here at McEleney's ABRA Collision Center. And if you want to know more about it, or if you want to know if your insurance company is one of the companies that works with this plan, give the ABRA Express Center a call here at McEleney's and ask them. I'm sure that's about as simple as it gets, right? Just call and say, hey, do I qualify?
No question. We'll probably ask who your insurance company is, and actually the first question we're going to ask is if you're okay, and we want to make sure that everybody, anybody that gets in an accident, that's our first concern, is that there wasn't any bodily injury, or if there was, we want to make sure that everybody is okay, and that's there's an empathy there that we really stress.
Sure.
With everybody up front, and everybody cares here at ABRA. But yeah, that's the best way to get us is 563-243-7000 is the main number, or you can ring right back here to ABRA, which is 563-244-1225.
1225. So give ABRA a call if you have any questions, and find out if your insurance qualifies, or if you've been in an accident and you just want to get it taken care of. Those are the numbers you need to call and do so. So get a hold of McEleney and the ABRA Collision Center and get the work done right the first time, and with quality and well-known, respected collision repair here at ABRA.